Jay, great to meet you. Thank you for taking a minute out. I appreciate it.
Great to meet you as well. I'm looking forward to this.
Me too. So let's begin our journey into your work by asking you this. 5 years ago, the pandemic changed so much for all of us. How did you get through it? How did it change the way that you run business?
It was very challenging and it kind of rocked our world a little bit, but in a good way. It really pushed us, it challenged us, and it made us grow and think outside the box. And our business model changed quite a bit from there, which has really helped us grow and scale further. But everything kind of came to a halt. And, we were on lockdown and our business model was not designed well for the pandemic and what came after that. Because as we all know, with the shutdown, everybody was locked in their homes. And for the home furnishing industry, it really just created this demand because everyone was stuck in their homes, living in their homes. And then all the stimulus checks started coming out. And so people had extra money in their pockets to burn and they wanted to fix up their house or their yard, Home Depot. And so our clients were knocking on a door wanting to buy furniture, and at that time, we were not a heavily stocked furniture retailer. We were much more on the special order. You kind of come in, you look at the samples, you change the fabric, and you wait a few months for your special order item to come in. And so this really changed up the way we started doing things, and we started looking at bringing in more stock, bringing in products that was quality, but you could customize small options, but you could get a lot faster because people wanted immediate gratification as well. And so it really just pushed us outside of our comfort zone of having to look at stocking things, getting better turns, flowing product a lot more. And obviously, the supply chain during the pandemic was a hot mess. And so we had to really get creative, look at transportation in a different way, and just challenge and think different and retool the way we do business and retool the way we sell to the clients to provide them what they're looking for.
So let's hone in on exactly what you do on a daily basis. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch
Yeah.
of 12-year-olds. It's career day, and one of the kids wants to know what you do. How do you answer
Yeah.
them?
I say we help clients design spaces they never want to leave. So we do everything from floor covering to window treatments, and we help them bring out their home to truly make it their home. We help them find their style. We help them fit their function of their lifestyle and their family. And we help them build a plan to furnish their home in a way that is going to last them for a long time. They're not going to be replacing the furniture after a few years. And by the time they're done furnishing it, they're going to be extremely proud, love it, ready to show it off, and never want to leave that space.
So, since you're in a family-owned business, take me back to your childhood. Was there any other dreams that you had of what you wanted to do with your life, or was this always a part of your DNA?
No, I wasn't going to go into the furniture business.
Yeah.
I grew up painting walls, moving furniture around the showrooms, moving furniture in the warehouse, opening up furniture, deluxing furniture, all the basic grunt work. Growing up in the business, every family member has done the dirty work, and that's kind of where we started. And as I was getting out of high school, I didn't really have any desires to continue to do the dirty work. And so I was going off to college to be a teacher, play soccer, and hopefully someday coach soccer. Was kind of my aspirations at first. But the family talked me into doing some business classes, also started showing me a little bit more aspects of the business from the marketing, the merchandising, and just really opened up the full breadth of everything that we get to do here. And that's when I started really falling in love with it and changed my path pretty fast and never looked back.
So, who's been your motivational force, your inspiration, whether family or otherwise, that allowed you to make that decision to get into the family business and to be successful?
So my mom and my uncle are in business still, and obviously they were a huge motivational force. Um, my grandfather too it was fun working with him while he was here and spending some time learning from him. Um, but it's really the team that we have here. We have a lot of tenure, and there's been people that our sales manager was celebrating his 35th anniversary this year, and they really instilled the passion of the design of the furniture that has just kind of been embedded in me since a very young child. That it's hard to get out of your skin, and it's just fun to design furniture and merchandise it And so always looking to, we talk about as a family business, we're here just as kind of a protector. It's a responsibility. We're carrying the torch just for a short period. And so we have to respect the previous generations that, held that torch for us. And then we got to hand it off to the future generations. And so that's where a lot of the pride comes is it's not just for me. I'm honoring everybody before me, current and future.
So obviously, you have a lot of role models around you in the generational business. But if you look outside of that to other businesses and successful enterprises in the lexicon of American business, who do you look up to? What's a model that you think has nailed it?
Um, there's lots of ways to skin a cat. So nailed it would be hard, but one that I always look up to and I'm just so impressed is Dyson. That's still a privately owned a company, and talk about going through trials and tribulations, but then just really breaking through and look how large they are now. But they do a lot of things extremely, extremely well, and the story they tell and the heritage and everything, they kind of just stay true to their niche and their focus, which I truly admire. They don't get distracted by shiny things.
Yeah. So when you design your home and you furnish it, is it you doing it or is it someone in the family, somebody else? How does that work for you?
Yeah, for me, I do my own home,
Okay.
um, and it can be challenging because growing up in the furniture industry, we tend to like a lot of different styles. We appreciate a lot of different styles, and so I used to joke that I could easily have a different style room in my whole house, but obviously, you know, kind of need to have a cohesive look. And so I have an eclectic look, but I do enjoy designing it myself.
So you almost have to have a degree in psychology if you're trying to really hone in, right, on what
Yeah.
people want. You're probably almost like a private investigator. When they come in, you have to start checking all of that off to
Yeah.
have, how does that work? Is that something that's a part of your mentality when they come in?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't work on the sales floor anymore, but we talk about that a lot. The needs analysis of really getting to understand and know our clients and know what their deep desires are, because everybody needs furniture, but furniture, a sofa is just a sofa to sit on, but it's so much more than something to sit on. It's that identity of that client that's in front of you. How do they want that sofa to make them feel? How does that room, they want to make that room feel as they walk into it every day? And a cohesive look in a room or a house has proven studies show that it can lower a person's blood pressure, it can relax you, and so it has so much more effect than just somewhere to sit on. And that's what we talk about a lot is we're doing more than just putting furniture in a client's home. We're helping them define their identity, we're helping them define their lifestyle and their status, and that's something that we don't take lightly.
So I'm going to kind of go back to that entrepreneurial spirit, that business spirit. If you could
Yeah.
meet anybody on the planet right now, whether it's in business or otherwise, that would help you on your journey, have a lunch, ask some questions, figure some things out. Is there someone that you would earmark that you would love to meet and talk to?
Oh, a few people, but I would have to say Saul Price for sure.
Yeah.
Just kind of the godfather of retailing, and to pick his brain and everything that he knows and would be pretty amazing, and
Yeah.
everything he's gone through. But there's tons of retailers out there and business entrepreneurs I would love to just sit down and have coffee with and pick their brain of how they did it, why they did it, and building the team around them to do it. Obviously Steve Jobs. Again, I'm always really impressed with an entrepreneur's ability to stay focused on the one thing and just do it day in and day out and get that compound effect of growth. I'm not really ever impressed with the entrepreneurs that start a business, grow it really fast, and then try to go to IPO or sell it off or something like that. To me, what is true success is somebody that can be doing it for 20, 30 years and really just master that skill or that industry and just get that compound growth on it and then hand it off better than you left it or better than you had it at the time. And so that's what I love. And so, like Michael Dell, been doing it forever.
Yep.
All those people are just really impressive and who I look up to.
So the one thing about furniture, it's almost kind of like getting like a car or it's a big purchase. It's going to be around for a long time and it requires an investment. Take me back in your life when you made a little bit of money. What was the first big purchase that made your heart beat faster? The adrenaline happened, you wanted it, you got it.
So for furniture or for just anything?
Otherwise, it could be a car, it could be like that big purchase when you had a little extra money and you were like, I'm going for it. I've been thinking about it, I'm doing it.
Yeah. So as a young kid, it would be a new motor for my little boat that my dad got me.
Nice.
And then as I got a little bit older, it'd be my first truck that I bought. Those were the big expenses and things that I really saved up for, and was just that wow moment of this is mine, and I get to do whatever I want with it.
That's cool.
But yeah,
So let me go back to that point that you made about longevity, about doing something for decades, loving it, building it, staying with it, nurturing it, almost like a child. There's you have to wake up every day. You have to hop on your feet after that alarm goes off and you have to have that energy. What is that for you? What's your energy to be successful in business, take care of your family, your soul? What is that energy for you every day?
and so I've been asked that question a few times, and you do have to do it, and I don't know like what motivates me or propels me. My family kind of gives me a bad time because I don't sleep too much. I sometimes I'll be up pretty late working in the middle of the night and still wake up at 5 in the morning to work out or get to work. And I think it's, for a lot of entrepreneurs and people that just love what they're doing, it's just a switch that is flipped on and it never really turns off. Even on the weekends when I'm at my kids' soccer games or gymnastics or sporting events, you're just always thinking about the business. My uncle talks about it. It's a lifestyle. It's not a job. And I think that is something that is truly in my family. I know that. And it's just in us. It's not something that motivates us or turns us off. It's part of our identity. It's part of our lifestyle. And we love it. We work with an amazing team. Our clients are amazing. It's something that is I'm truly grateful is that we're helping clients furnish their homes with beautiful quality furniture that we know is going to last, and we're proud to sell it. And every time we deliver it to them, they're super excited, super appreciative. And so it's just a great environment to be in. Beautiful showrooms.
Yeah. So let's say you had a dream tonight, you ran into that 18-year-old version of you, and you could give them kind of a coffee table book of your life and show it to them. Would they believe that your life turned out the way it did?
Um, no, they probably wouldn't believe that I can get into the furniture business.
So let me ask you this. If you walked into a room of everybody that knows you in a business sense, everybody that's worked with you, clients, everyone in that business sense, and you could go to the front of that room into a podium and tell them a fun story about you. Maybe the best sporting event you ever witnessed, first concert you went to, jumping out of an airplane, a magical place you traveled to, something that would humanize you a little bit to that room. What story would you tell them?
To humanize me a little bit more would be you brought up the jumping out of an airplane. So when I was a young kid, my mom, one of her goals or bucket list was to jump out of an airplane on her 40th birthday, and she did it. And as a young kid, I just remember being so impressed with her and just kind of like, what a badass. Here's my 40-year-old mom jumping out of an airplane on her birthday and jealous because I was too young to do it and I couldn't do it with her. And so I had a 40th birthday recently, and sure enough, that's what I went and did on my 40th
That's
birthday
cool.
was went and jumped out of an airplane to kind of honor my mom and just say, I'm badass too with her.
That's awesome, dude. What a great story. Great
Yeah.
story. So, of everything that you've done, accomplished, and evolved to at this point in your life, what are you the proudest of?
The people and the family around me. You know, I just, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far and make a difference, you go with a team. And something I'm very proud of is my family has always done a great job of surrounding great people, bringing great people into our culture. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a manager that's celebrating his 35th anniversary with us this year, and we have a lot of that. And I feel like our culture is one of our core values is open to change, and we just have a very much of a growth mindset culture. And I believe as people come into our environment, they continue to grow, they continue to develop, and they stay with us because of that growth they're seeing through themselves, and they push us to grow and they challenge us, and that's what I'm most proud of is just the family that continues to push me, challenge me, calls me out when I'm maybe being narrow-minded or too stubborn, and and then the team that we have with us is just it's pretty awesome to be surrounded with a bunch of people that care, passionate, and are united under one vision.
So at the end of the day, everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, everyone that you know, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Uh, again, I tell people the perception of me is just to keep the circles connected. It's to keep the our culture alive and thriving, making sure that we're bringing the right people into our environment, we're keeping the wrong ones out, and making sure that we're all rowing in the same direction. And so a lot of my responsibility is just repeating the vision, communicating with everybody, making sure we're all rowing in the same direction and all on the same page. And that just takes a lot of talking and getting together and prioritizing what is the number one thing. Kind of going back to, what I'm so impressed with a lot of people is, especially in business, there's so much opportunity out there during bad times, good times. There's always tons of opportunity out there. And the businesses that impress me the most are the ones that cannot get distracted by all those opportunities and stay focused on what they are the best at, and then make that priority and just hammer away at it day in and day out. And so that's what I feel like my main responsibility is just making sure we stay focused on what we're the best at.
So if anybody out there is ready, they have questions, they want to purchase, they want to change their lives, their homes, where's the best place to go to do that?
You can go to seldens.com and reach out to us there, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Jacob
Right on.
Cross.
Okay, I will put all these links in the show notes. Jake, thank you, sir. I appreciate your story. Appreciate your time. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Joe.
Cool. Thank you. Take care.